Welcome to Jan's Views, a place where I share my views and listen to yours. Whether you are here for my artwork, live streams, shorts, or just for the giggles, please be assured I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you will enjoy your time here on my channel. I would be eternally grateful if you would give a like to the video, consider subscribing and, dare I ask, even become a member. So without further ado, let's do this.
And a very get me on. Am I on there? I am on there. There I am. I'm hiding up there. I couldn't even see myself. Well, this is all going rather well, guys. It can only go downhill from here. Anyway, how the hell are you? I hope you're well. It's Friday. Drama Friday. There's so much drama. There's so much drama going on. How are you all? I hope you're well. Hi to Barley. Oh, you saw some of my collage artwork. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I agree. Visuals can influence good mood. Not only toxic medicine can do this. Art can also 100%. I agree with you. We've also got Random Fish. Hi. Yeah, we got a bit of tea. We got a bit of tea tonight, guys, because it is Drama Friday. How am I going to get out of this little community, though? Jesus. And we've also got Bridge. Hi, Bridge. Oh, she's going into a meeting. There you go. You'll be back in an hour if you're still here. I probably still will be. So that's fine. You toodle off to your meeting, darling. Hi, Daria. How are you? Do you have any idea how much I'm laughing at all the Jan accounts? It's so damn funny. I know. I call them my cheerleaders. They're my cheerleaders because everywhere they go, I mean, even if people don't know who I am now, they're going to be sad. They're going to be thinking, well, who's this Jan? Why has she got so many accounts? It's me. It's little old me. I'm famous. Indeed, I'm famous. 100%. It's all rather funny. It's all rather silly. I'm quite, yeah, it amuses me. And as I've said before, it means that I don't have to go in some of those chats, which is a good thing. I'm not missing it, guys. Hi Edna, how are you, sweetness? I hope you're well. We got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. We have Edna. I'm going to put the link up in a second for you. Um, although I know you probably won't have a clue what we're talking about, but yeah, you're certainly welcome to come up on panel in just a little while. So the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is, I mean, how can I not talk about this situation right here? I mean, it's just listen, I'm not going into any great depth about it because I'm not really interested. I'm quite enjoying being a spectator. And yeah, just dipping into it and thinking, what shite are they going to come out with next? It's a bit like, it's like a quagmire of of filth and debauchery and shite. And yeah, and the funny thing also I find is the people that are trying to sort of jump into it as well to make themselves relevant. um it's just yeah, it's entertainment. It's like watching a soap opera at the moment, isn't it? And you've got, everyone. I mean, how important are these people? Let's be honest, okay? In the whole scheme of things, how important are these people? I just cannot. I'm kind of um perplexed about how people are so wrapped up into it. And I mean, how many of them are there? I'd say there's probably about 6, is there? I think I've got most of them up on here. I've got some sort of, taggers-ons or Klingons, if you want to call them, and these are the Klingons that I'm talking about. We've got the Hustler up there diving headfirst in, and of course Yomama, and a few others sort of, trying to get into the dirty, and yeah, and I want to come out smelling of shite. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're just going to come out smelling of shite at the end of the day. So yeah, you just carry on. It's certainly amusing to me. Oh, Lordy, Miss Claudie. Do you know what's quite fascinating for me? Is that these are all grown people. Now, I remember growing up, there was something that people used to do. If you had a fight with somebody or a squabble with somebody in the classroom, they used to bang your heads together. Now, nowadays, the teachers would have been done for assault. But back in the day, that's what they used to do. They used to bang kids' heads together. And, I do think to myself, there needs to be somebody that bangs these people's heads together and just, says to them, go off and play in another part of the playground. Go on, stop being so silly. Because it's just so childish. Yeah, I cannot take it seriously. I can't take any of it seriously. And especially when you've got these other people coming in who are proclaiming their allegiances, like, yeah, well, I'm supporting this one, and yeah, I'm supporting that one, and the reason why I'm supporting that one is because I don't know, why am I supporting them? And especially one of the funniest things for me is we all know that the Hustler is one of the most vile people on YouTube. Now, the funniest thing to me, well, one of the funniest things, is him proclaiming his allegiance to Belinda and therefore, going for Sam and Yabba. And I'm like, do you actually believe anyone gives a toss what you've got to say? That's what I think. I'm like, how deluded, excuse me, are these people that they feel that anybody would be interested in anything they had to say? It's all rather perplexing to me, guys. I have to say. So let's get up my co-host. Right, where am I meant to be? I'm meant to be there. Let's get up my co-host and see how much he disagrees with me tonight. Okay. Here's the link, sweetie. Right, let's see what the chat has said. Daria. Jan still holds the title for winner of all arguments of 2022 or maybe 2023. Good Lord, I've been on YouTube too long for simply saying, well, I don't care. I'm histrionic. Nobody knew what to say. It's true though. I mean, God, I'm not deluded. I don't come on saying that I'm Miss Wonderful or I'm this or I'm that. I just come on as me. Sometimes I may talk out of turn. Sometimes I might have a histrionic moment. And I'm honest about it. But yeah. And then some people try and use my mental health against me. I see. And I mean, really, that just shows the type of person that he is, not the type of person that I am. So yeah, you just carry on there. Listen, I can't wait for the fallout. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the whole thing to implode. It's going to be wonderful. Hi, Edna. How are you?
Hey, Ben. I'm doing well. Hello, chat. Shout out to everyone. Thanks for being here.
Are you aware of what's been happening with this kerfuffle, this explosion within? Is this girl world still? Would you say this is still girl world?
I don't know if it's still Girl World, because Girl World is Foodie and her shenanigans, right? You get a little ALR action sometimes. But what this creators do, I mean, I think we might need a new name to kind of get into where we are with the creator drama.
Yeah. Are they sort of like taggers on, or I know that some of them do react to Foodie though, don't they?
They do, and they're
Yeah,
characters in their own right. Some of these creators, their personalities in and of themselves.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, maybe we need a new name. Maybe we'll find a new name. We
Maybe the
can call
King of
them all.
Girl World can help us out with that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jen, I had a great day. I had a meeting with my manager and it went well.
Good, I'm glad. Good, I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
You sound happy. You sound happy. You've had a good week then.
Yeah.
It's ended well, has it?
Well, it's ended well. Right after the last stream Wellness Wednesday, that's what we call it.
Yeah.
I was like, my stomach was so upset and I was sick, but
Oh no.
whatever happened, I don't know. Hey, maybe I could blame
Oh,
the last thing I ate, but I have a sensitive stomach.
that's not good. How long did it last? Did it last just for one day?
Just for one day. Once I, expelled it, it was like my tummy settled down and I was okay. I had soup for the day. Hey, Valley.
Oh. Well, I hope it doesn't come back. So Barley says, I know what you'll say before you finish. It is grown people, grown men that want to be taken seriously whilst they talk about BS like this. Exactly. Guys, I was in a live stream today and listening to it going off because somebody got struck. Somebody was stricken today. So excuse me. So I was in the live stream. I just had it on while I was faffing and preparing for now. And
Jenny, you don't have your Coke nearby?
did I what?
What? You don't have any Coke nearby?
Confident vibes. What are you talking about? Anyway, as I was saying, until I was very rudely interrupted.
Tea, I have tea, but I thought you said you like to drink Coke.
I am. I'm drinking Coke at the moment.
Oh, okay.
But
sorry.
I was saying something then. I've gone completely off track. Edna, stop it.
I'm
Right,
so
anyway,
sorry.
I've forgotten where I was now. Completely forgotten it now.
Someone will remind us. Daria, I blame Daria. She said that she subbed to me, and if I plan on uploading or going live at all, Daria, I only have like 20 subs. It's gonna be me and you, girl. What you want to talk about?
Listen, I may have the subs, but I don't get a lot of people in. And you know what? It suits me. I say it every single time, but it does. I like it because I can read what's going on and yeah. Anyway, so my co-host has completely derailed my train of thought there, so we'll just carry on. I wonder.
Was it based off of Valley's comment? Were you talking about men talking about BS?
Yeah, I think it was, but it's gone now. It's gone.
Okay.
I'm sure it wasn't that important, really. Random fish. Hi, darling. Oh, I wandered off and ended up being late. I do that all the time. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So I was in this live stream while I was, trying to write up what we were going to be talking about tonight and that, preparation. And in the end, my brain was becoming frazzled. My brain was like this picture that's up there right now. And it was like, what? So I had to watch a bit of true crime. I watched a bit of true crime just to cheer myself up.
You watched true crime? Oh, Lord. Does Gorlword do that to you, Tina?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, so, right. Okay, what's that? I'm down to kick it. Oh, that's nice. Daria will be there. I'll be there. I'll be there if you want to go live or whatever. Anyway, so how do we feel, guys? I'm not going to ask you who your allegiance is to. I'm not interested, really. I'm not interested in.
I don't even know who to pick. Who are the characters? Remind me.
Right, the characters are the main characters are Yubba, Sam, and Belinda. I would say they're the three. And isn't it weird how they're all in the middle? They're all in Midwest America. Isn't that weird? Anyway, then we've got.
Don't throw all of us together. Like,
yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry,
yeah,
I can't help it. I'm terrible at generalizing. And then we've got Clifford. No, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't. Sorry. Then we've got the Gaining Ground. He's in there because he's close buddies with Belinda. Right.
So where is he? How is he affiliated? Like, how is he interjected in this?
Because he's best buddies with Belinda, and Belinda is fighting with Yubba and Sam.
Right. And this is all over the donation stream. The $30, $50.
Yes, it's all over that. But supposedly it runs much deeper than that. That's what they're saying.
Well, it's gotta be $30, $50 is not a lot of money, Jen.
Yeah, I know. Well, then you've got Tragic. I'm trying to work out how Tragic got involved there. Can you guys tell me in the chat because I'm running out of ideas about or facts. But I think Tragic's thrown in there because Tragic and Gigi had some sort of
yeah, I was gonna say, didn't Tragic try to seduce Gigi?
Yeah, no, yeah. And the reason I say it like that is because it's weird that you've said it that way, because I've heard it said the other way. I've heard it said that it was Gigi that was trying to seduce, a 40-year-old straight man. I mean, so whatever. From what
I'm not 40, but at my big age, ain't nobody like. What does it matter? Is somebody gonna really be homophobic to you? Like, this sounds stupid.
Well, I don't know what you mean by homophobia, but I know you live in your own world, darling. But
it's like, if someone is gonna like outwardly be discriminatory towards you, right? Like it sucks.
Yeah.
But we have laws in place that you can fight against stuff like that, right? And
Yeah.
you can't like openly be homophobic. Like people don't jam with it. So you're gonna look like an a-hole if that's what you're doing. So that's what I'm saying. Like what like you're not seducing somebody who doesn't want to be seduced at that age. I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of weird, especially over the internet. It's interesting.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there too. And in fact, it was Monty was the first time that I'd heard of it. He was the first person that I heard speak on it, and he was saying that Gigi was harassing Tragic. And I was in his chat that time when I got a good telling off. um, because what I actually said was, I think, I don't think you should be accusing a gay man of uh you know preying on straight men unless you've got real evidence of it. So I said something along those lines, which of course Monty twisted completely, and
Mhm.
then went off about me being in cahoots with Xena, which was absolute shite. But anyway,
Oh, yeah,
so
that's interesting.
at that point in time, I did speak up on behalf of Gigi, not because I like him specifically, and not because I dislike Tragic specifically. I was speaking up as a spectator, if you like, and somebody who'd seen quite a lot of what had been going on. And I was just, I'd come to my own conclusions, really. And I just thought, it's very difficult. Um, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, I understand that Tragic likes to play these gay men, and we've seen it with Gigi, and we've also seen it with Hussey, where he plays along with their fantasies.
Well,
Now,
yeah, but are you really straight if you're playing along with gay fantasies?
well, it depends. It
Okay.
depends what your intention is. If your intention is to gain financially, then you could actually be seen as a predator. Um, you could be seen as somebody who's trying to exploit somebody else. Um, or, I mean, maybe he was just playing a game with them. I don't know. But I remember feeling most uncomfortable when he used to, sort of mess about with Hussey, oh, I'll get you behind the bodega and things like that. I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot to be asked there. One of the questions has to be, why would you talk like that to a gay man, especially a gay
Right.
man that you're showing, or you're um pretending to fancy, in other words. I don't understand that. Why would you do that? And that's a conversation that I would have with Tragic. I would ask him that. Why would you do that? It's like if I had a girlfriend, a friend who was a girl, or no, not that way. If I met somebody who I knew was gay, a lesbian, and I then started texting her, suggestive texts, what's she gonna think? She's
This
gonna
is gonna think that you're interested.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that's what was happening. And I think, Tragic has done that in the past. I don't know why. If he ever wants to come and tell me about it, I'll listen. But yeah, so that seems a bit strange to me. Um, and also I didn't like the fact that Monty was brandishing about that um Gigi was gay. Not gay. Stupid thing to say. That Gigi was a predator. And I
Oh,
thought,
right.
"Mm, no." And Gigi has actually shown some of the the texts that were not the texts, the DMs that they were sharing, and a lot of the time, Tragic was being very suggestive. So why was he doing that? And so there's that's going on at the same time. So, and that's obviously all linked because of Belinda.
Okay, so then we have Peanut.
Then we have
It's also
Peanut.
Angry's Pistachio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
But you know how they ended up with two different peanut names or nut names?
Yeah, because she's ban evading.
Oh, so she just picked another nut because she's still crazy. Okay,
that's because she's ban evading.
So how is she involved?
Right, let me get these links right. She's involved because she's very pally with Gigi. So she's been streaming. She's been woken up from her slumber, and she's been streaming quite often in support of Gigi and Belinda.
Okay.
So yeah. So of course anyone that shows their support to those two must be against Yabba and Sam, because that's how the internet works. Well, that's how these idiots work. Anyway, and then we've got what's her name? Owl, who's also in there somewhere. I remember watching Owl a long time ago and thinking, oh, I don't know if I like, it's something about her that I'm not comfortable with. I don't know what it is, but I didn't realize how deep she was in this little group of people. Now, at the moment, I could be wrong, but I think she's backing Yabba and Sam. Am I right there, chat? Or have I got that completely wrong? So then you've got Yabba, you've then got Owl will then be against all the others. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say, this is sounding like Yabba and Sam against the Girl World.
I think they are in Girl World because I think they used to, I think Yabba still does react to Amberlynn Reid, and I think they have done Foodie before in the past.
Oh, so they definitely still do, because I think Yomama was talking about it, how they had like a death stream pretty much going, wasn't it?
Well, then, funny you should mention him. We've then got these people that are ready to dive headlong into the pile of steaming shite. So we've got
diving.
And while they're doing it, they're also stating their allegiances, and most of them are backing. I know, it's ridiculous. Most of them seem to be backing Gigi and Belinda. There seems very few people that are actually backing Yabba and Sam. I couldn't give two monkeys, to be honest. In my opinion, they're all as bad as each other. I'm like, you just fight it out. You just fight it out in your big lump of shite, because it's just ridiculous. Oh, and did you know Sam was struck today? She was struck today by, right, let me do this right. She was struck today by apparently Sam.
So I was listening to your mama to Jessica Messica, and
right.
she was streaming about it. So Sam got struck by. Wait, I thought they were saying it was Belinda.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I?
I thought she said something else, but okay, yeah.
I probably did, because my mind is fried. This situation is it just fries my brain. See my little advert there? Look, that's how I feel when I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, what? So I'm happy not to share my allegiance with anybody, because as far as I'm concerned, they're all as bad as each other. Just go over there and fight it out. you know.
I can't believe that she doxed that whomever with her store sales. That was crazy.
And who did? Yabba.
Yeah, my Yaba one. I think it must have been Yaba who basically confirmed the dox because she was like, "Oh yeah, I know because she bought something from her merch sales, and it matches."
Yeah, and also apparently she's admitted that that's what they do. That's what we do over here. We dox people.
That
Oh,
is
well, that's
crazy.
nice. That's good for you, girl, admitting it. I mean, I just can't believe that these are grown people. You know, Sam is like nearly 50, and I don't know how old Yaba is, don't care. They're all grown. They're all fully cooked, and they're behaving like this.
Does that surprise you though?
No, it doesn't surprise me. Not in this area of YouTube. No, it doesn't. Random Fish is all confused because there's two owls. Yeah, there's a new owl that's arrived on scene called Are You Being Serious? I quite like her actually. I do listen to her.
Oh,
The only thing I don't like about her is she does play some foodie videos, and you know how I feel about that. I'll talk about the heifer, but I don't want to watch her. So but she's doing really well. She's got quite a nice following going on there. So that's the she's called Are You Being Serious? But she uses like an owl emoji. So
okay.
that's one owl. And the other owl, the original owl, is I think she used to be called what did she used to be called? Um, Something to do with oil wife or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Don't know.
okay.
So yeah, so as Random Fish says, I wouldn't back either. I wouldn't either. Why? What's the point? Let them all implode. Let them all, float around in this, explosion and lose all their channels because eventually they could lose their channels. I mean, now that they've started striking each other, they're probably going to go the same way as Negs and DC.
Oh
You
man,
know,
are they still around? How are they doing on Rumble?
whereas one would expect.
Okay.
No, but I think people only watch them to see what rubbish they're coming out with next. Really, I don't think people watch them for any other reason. You know, they're
How's the
just.
store doing?
I
What
don't know. I don't. Why are you
does
asking
anybody
me?
does
I
anybody
flamingo
know
over
how the
there.
store is doing?
We're
There's
not
a
actually.
good
We
time.
weren't talking about them either, Edna. But I don't mind
I
talking
think
about them
it's
because
funny.
if Hussey is sniping me, then he'll soon turn off when I say Negs and DC because he's not allowed to talk about them. So yeah, I'm just going to throw that in every so often, guys. All right, Negs and DC. Okay, so that'll annoy him just in case he's sniping me. Oh my god! But you know what I think? I think it's not long before somebody, probably Sam, because apparently she's got this like really expensive printer, should print off t-shirts. And I've got a few suggestions for them. One of them could be I backed Belinda, gasping for Gigi, uh, yapping for Yaba, or I jumped into the quagmire of delusion. I think they'd be quite nice t-shirts. I might buy one of them.
But nobody would have any clue what you're even talking about. You could imagine. To the outside, people would be like, what?
Yeah,
Like the thing is, if they're the type of person that has the like same addictive personality or whatever quality neurodivergence, they're gonna fall head first into the craziness that's girl world. And you shouldn't do that to your worst enemy. Because it's hard to
yeah.
get out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just, I was thinking that earlier when I was listening to this live stream and thinking, why is this so important to you? Oh, all right, it's not nice if somebody, strikes your channel, obviously, but I mean, this is just like another sort of, this is just another battle in the war. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm sure they're going to start striking other people back. Oh, and apparently they've got a list. Have you heard of the list, Edna?
I have. There's several lists. Everybody's got a list at this point. First, it
I know.
started off with Pew Pew, and then because that was like her racist white women list, right? And that's including anybody could get on that list.
Yeah.
But now
Well,
Yama and Sam have a list as a creator. It just boggles my mind. So if they see you as a supporter in a chat that they don't like, you're on the list and you're kicked
that's
out.
right. That's
Okay.
right. Well, I think I'm okay. I'm okay as me, but one of my cheerleaders is on there. I'm not sure
Ooh,
which part of the country is from,
Capone.
but no, one of my cheerleaders, one of my Jans,
Oh,
something or other.
gotcha.
I don't know where
We have,
they're from, but
you know what? Do we have a Caribbean jams? That would be
we should
nice.
have,
Yeah,
because that's what
we
I
need a
am.
Jamaican jams.
I
Yeah.
know exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, so one of them is on the list, and that did make me laugh when I saw that because it's on Twitter, you see. And
That's funny.
yeah, it did make me laugh. So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what this list is meant to do to people. Is it meant to intimidate them? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Wagwan Jan. That should be me. That reminds me, my brother phoned and texted me the other day, and he went, right, family reunion, LA, September. I was like, I don't know if I can do 11 hours on a plane, so I may have to stop off in New York.
Yeah. Give yourself a break.
Yeah,
Is that the way it
because
travels
it's
over the Atlantic?
I think it's 4 hours into. I think it's 4 hours, or is it a bit longer? No, I think it's about 4 hours into New York, and
Okay.
then New York to LA, I think is another 4 or 6. So I'm like, oh well, if I have to do it, I'm doing it in 2 bits. So yeah, so I'll stop off in New York, and I tell you what, that hustler better not be anywhere around because yeah,
Oh, that'd be so funny. Go
I
grab a
could
coffee with.
get in trouble. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I think me blooming. I think never mind the histrionics. I think me other parts might come out.
Oh my
But
goodness. So
then I'll
funny.
be safe. I'll be safe. I can always use my mental health. Anyway.
Not over here. Let's shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah.
We be getting the
Um,
arrangements together, telling this story.
oh no. If you would make Funky Girl World abstract t-shirts, they would sell 1,000% for sure if you advertise here. I know this, you can have your fun and many people will want to buy. But
Yeah.
I don't like Girl World. I mean, I
But you can make it abstract enough that people wouldn't actually know what it is.
yeah,
Because
but
I wouldn't wear something that said like insert favorite creator here, but I would wear because these people are too spot on, it's like too niche. But if you just have
maybe,
something like this,
yeah, maybe I could do one like this. And wear that when I get to New York.
so who's the
Ah,
little person in the bottom?
the little person, what, on the left?
No, I see. So we have your mama, we have
Oh,
GP.
Fedora.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's feeling
Oh, I
sorry
see.
for
That's her
herself.
fedora.
She's feeling
Gotcha.
sorry for herself because no one's paying her any mind.
Mhm.
Oh dear. And the other one is GP. Well, we all know about him. What a twonk. Anyway,
Is he?
to be honest,
How is he involved?
well, what I did was I checked to see who was talking about them and who was trying to, involve themselves into it. Who was diving
Gotcha.
headlong in there. And one of the questions I'd like to, I sort of pondered on for at least 3 seconds was why? Why are this group here wanting to be involved? Is it because of clout or followers? I mean, do they
Well, it's
think they're
just
gonna
something to talk about.
gain? Sorry?
I said it's just something to talk about. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see how friends will fall out. It's like, is any of it all that serious?
Well, I don't think it is, but I mean, some of these people, they take it so seriously. But I think the
Mhm.
funniest thing for me is seeing these other people like Yomama started speaking out and, yeah, well, I think this and I think that and da 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 da. And then you've got the hustler in his little box in the sky saying, yeah, well, I think that. And apparently he's got a story to tell about tragic. It's like, oh, but the thing is, nobody listens to what he's got to say anyway. So
No,
just
I was gonna say I listened, but I forgot what he was talking about.
no, I like just shut up, man. No one's interested. You're an idiot. But anyway, as a spectator, it really is quite amusing to me. I do have to say.
Mhm.
What's the chat saying? Um, mm, 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 Oh, we'll always be at odds, as you put it, because she doxed me. Yeah, I will never ever forgive her for doing that, Dahlia.
Was
Right.
this in conjunction with Erie or was this
Yeah,
separate?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Their names are out there. I keep putting them out there every so often. And Hussey even tried to befriend one of them and did a video on one of Jan's ex-friends or something spills the truth. No, she didn't. She was one of my doctors, and I'm not quiet about it. I will always speak about it because that's the truth. So
Mhm.
anyway, I think is there any questions anyone got to ask about this explosion that's going on at the moment? Um What happens is people start talking behind the scenes and close friendships form. Even though I've been in different communities for years, I haven't had that one person that I became close with because, yeah,
Ooh.
see, it's difficult. I've made friendships that I thought were friendships
Mhm.
in two of the communities I've been in. And yeah, you do feel betrayed, when it goes wrong. Um,
The girl world is a special place because I've made friends in different communities, and like one friend, we actually get together every so often and go do something or get a meal, or you can become friends with people from the internet. It doesn't have to be the craziness that is girl world, but I think because of Foodie and her foolishness, girl world is just kind of all over the place, and it's
mm,
allowed this atmosphere where people act crazy. So I can't believe that Sam and Yaba actually got together. But I guess if someone fooled with you after all that craziness, there must be some love or some attraction there, right?
well, I think their blooming relationship was somewhat of a surprise, definitely, as was DC and Negs. So
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's weird, isn't it, that you can make friends online, most definitely, and I've made friends online, and then we've fallen out, and I don't speak of them because, um, they were friends basically. And I remember like when we were still friends and we sort of joking about it, and I used to say, not ever expecting it to happen, but I used to say, oh God, if we ever split up, I've got so much on you, I could tell. Do you know what I mean? And I'd just sort of be joking about it, but in reality I would never do that because I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
If someone tells me something, if you're in a friendship with somebody, then you should have some sort of um what's the word, decency about you. If you
Yeah.
valued that, if I feel if you valued that friendship, then you wouldn't be blurting it out for haters to know about. That's the way I think. um
Absolutely.
so all drama communities are essentially ran the same. Two sides, the good ones, bad ones, etc. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Daria. I agree with you, but I think, as a spectator, because that's how I see myself in the girl world. I'm not in the girl world. I don't react to them. I talk about them on Drama Friday because that's who a lot of my, subscribers and people in the chat, they know who we're talking about if we talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's no good me coming on and talking about a whole load of people that nobody knows anything of.
Well,
Um,
you know what? You did it with the Katie person. It's not bad.
yeah, yeah, I did. Did I do that
Oh,
on Drama Friday or did I do that on Wednesday?
maybe it was Wednesday. I don't think it would. I don't think Katie was presented as a drama thing or a drama.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's because you're an adult, Jan. A lot use it for content, which I think is trash. Exactly. And I wouldn't do that. The only time, um, the only time that I've ever sort of spoken up about it is if they do something like join up with one of my enemies, because that's like a big betrayal. And also if they're telling lies about me, then maybe I would speak on it. But I'm not going to tell you all the ins and outs of people that are still in this community. I'm not going to give away what um their family business and things like that. Why would I do that? That's just a horrible thing to
Because
do.
it's
Doesn't
TV.
make you a very nice person, does it?
No, it doesn't. But that's what we're here for, the messiness. It's like we wouldn't mind it, but you don't want to be like I said, it's like I'm here for the mess, but I don't want to be the mess. Edna,
Mm.
I can't imagine you ever being angry, yelling, or upset. I can't imagine it. Or hearing you cuss. Do you cuss? Absolutely, motherfucker. No. You know what? My mom, she really didn't like cursing, and I probably heard her curse maybe a handful of times in my whole life. So, it's just not something that's like familiar to me. But don't push me because I will take it there, unfortunately. So I've learned things about myself where it's like I I'm probably saying something because I know that I'm right. So then it's like, okay, how right am I willing to be? And
It's funny
so
because I think, a lot has to do with upbringing and how
mhm.
you sort of hold yourself, um, offline as well, I think. Um, we're not, I've said it before, we're not a sweary family, and yet both my husbands were sweary. But my kids, I never used to swear at my kids, and I never used to swear in the house. So my kids have grown up in sort of apart from their dad, have not really, heard swearing in that way. It's not, it's like, I think people that swear a lot, I think it just comes so naturally to them. I think it's the first thing they go to. Whereas in my family, it's not. And,
Well, it's like the N word where you were saying how, it's so unfamiliar to you for
yeah,
it to be used so freely. And it's similar to me, even though it's like part of the culture here, of course. It's just like never will we say that, you know, like in polite company, even among all black people. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just not a word that could ever hold any power any kind of way other than negatively. At least in the way, you know, I was brought up with it.
Yeah. I mean, the way I hear it thrown around online, I mean, I've kind of got used to it. The N
Jane,
word I'm
I
talking
was,
about.
yeah, clutching my pearls when I moved out in California because all the kids said it. It was just like a term of endearment among their friends. And there's a lot of Mexicans, Latinos, there's a lot of like Filipinos, like, you know, South, like Asian people. And they were just all talking among themselves, calling each other the N word. And I'm just standing there like, oh my God, like, what are y'all doing? You know, and I think that was a very short period of time because I don't think that flies in the way it did for a moment there. But it was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I mean, whenever I've said it, I know I've said it online before that, we're not a sweary family. People sort of say, oh, yeah, right. But it's true. It's true. We just don't. And
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
yeah, exactly. I mean, they're just, I've always thought if you swear, then, um, you know, if you swear, it's like a lack of words. You're not very good with your words. So if it's easier just to sort of start screaming effing and blinding than it is to come up with an intelligent rebuttal. That's what I think. Do you know what I mean? But having said that, I'm not saying that if I get in if I'm in my car and I'm having a bit of road rage, then there will be a few F bombs flying around, but not if I've
Mhm.
got the kids with me.
Because I was gonna
And
say accent. Because I honestly like a southern accent. I immediately don't think they're the sharpest bub in this, in the tool shed or the however the phrase goes because I messed it up. But you know what I mean. You think certain things about people who speak a certain way. Like I think that's just kind of part
yeah.
of I don't know like the way we're socialized. But I mean, and sometimes it's true. You I mean, many times you come across somebody who speaks a certain way, it's kind of telling about the way that they were brought up or the lack thereof.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't think I think I don't know whether it's the same in America, but I know definitely in England it's very or it used to be. It was important with it's for me it's all sort of, and I think generally speaking the English people or English society do give a lot of credence to how somebody presents, and in that way language is very important with that.
Hmm.
I've tried to have this discussion with my grandkids, and sometimes I think um well, they do listen to me, but one in particular I'm thinking about, and I've told the story before, where her father is like really sort of cockney, and he, doesn't say his T's and all the rest of it, and he's all like
Hmm.
that and get me the butter and and I remember having a discussion with my granddaughter and saying, listen, it's really important for when you're older to speak properly, because it opens way more, it opens doors that
Right.
if you don't speak properly, you won't get in. If you go to a job interview and you talk a certain way, you won't get that job, you
Well,
know?
if people can't understand you, you're not going to be talking much,
No,
you're
it's
not going to
not
be talking
even
for too
that. It's
long.
not even that.
Yeah.
It's not even that. They'll understand you. It's the way
Hmm.
you speak. It's the way you speak. You have to speak properly. It's not that they don't understand you. It's like, oh, it's difficult to explain, but it's like when we were talking about the different accents, and I'm a Londoner, but I um I try, well, I've always spoken quite well because it's important. I've had that. I've sort of grown up with that. You need to speak properly in order to do well. And I don't know whether Americans feel like that. I don't know, but definitely
I
over
think
here.
it depends because in certain I how do I put it? I don't know. Like at work, for sure. You know what I mean? Like when Bally's saying, yes, also me and my work, I must spell it correctly and read over and over before I send emails. Absolutely, right? You know, things you don't get anything done if you can't, if you're not presenting yourself a certain kind of way. But if you're just like going to a restaurant or even the doctor's office, like yeah, you're probably gonna get treated a certain way, but that shouldn't be the case. And we have things in place against that kind of discrimination. Whereas I don't know, I would hope if someone sees, I don't know, like an adult that doesn't seem to maybe read and write on the level that they would expect, that they would kind of think, well, this person obviously got left behind, or maybe they have learning difficulty. They wouldn't, X them out of whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah. And that, yeah, no, I mean, that's a good perspective to have. But I think in reality, and generally, I mean, maybe I think that because I'm older and because, that's what I've had ingrained in me, but I think I'm like random fish. I can speak, I'm very flexible in my language as well. And,
Mhm.
I can speak well, I can speak well enough. I could go anywhere and speak properly, but, they used to say Queen's English. Now, I don't think that it's necessarily Queen's English because I don't speak like the Queen does. I mean, they're very sort of la-di-da, and they talk like that, and they use a lot of vocal fry, and yes, so I don't speak like that at all. But I do speak like a Londoner, but then I can go really Cockney, where I'll go like with the twang. And if I went for that job, like when I was working in the schools, like, and I spoke like that, I wouldn't have got the job, like, you know what I mean, love?
Jen, I can't believe you, as a former educator, was saying that you would knock kids' heads together. That's
That's what they
craziness.
used to do back in the day. I've never done it. When I was growing up, they used to. I've had my head knocked together with another child because I was fighting with them in
Really?
the playground. Yeah, that's what they used to do.
Oh, I remember one time this teacher, he was like, "You need to do X, Y." I'm like, "Listen, I'm not doing it because I don't know what it was, but I just knew I was right about it. I can't remember now." But it was so funny because it was like they wanted us to take accountability for our actions, and I was like, "This is the action that I didn't do. I can't take accountability for it." It was really interesting.
They never used to do that in America. They didn't used to knock two kids' heads together.
No, certainly. I mean,
Oh,
maybe,
God.
but not in my generation. We had very different.
It must be because, I mean, I'm talking about when they were about, 5 or 6 or 7, that sort of age.
I remember when I was in elementary school, I probably was around 7 or 8 or so. And we were in gym class, and I don't know what happened. Maybe there was a fight in the school or something. And the teacher, for like all of gym class, because I mean, it was like torture. Because when you're a kid, gym is like that's like the best part of your day, other than like lunch. Anyway, so taking our gym class to give us this lecture about whatever the case, and they were like, when we, I don't know, he was like a generation ago, we would have been able to like spank you guys so hard you wouldn't be able to sit down, and like all of this corporal punishment. And I just remember it's still ingrained in me, like, what kind of children are you raising with all that violence?
Yeah. Oh, they did though back in the day. They did. It was very violent. Right. I've got Google open. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Knocking two heads together. Right. Okay.
Hey,
I've got to show
Bridge.
you guys this because you don't believe me. Right. Hang on a minute.
Mm-mm.
Let's see if it says. Right. Add to stage. Right. Let's say. Right. What does knock their heads together mean? No, I want it to
Oh,
say
come on. I
that that's
love
what
Bridge.
used to happen. I want it to say that that's what used to happen back in the day because it did used to happen back in the day.
Jen, I don't think that's going to be
You
advertised as
think I
like a
made it up?
common. I'm not saying you made it up, but it just seems like it's not something they were advertised.
Right, from
Like,
Longman
well
Dictionary.
known.
From Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, knock somebody's heads together to tell people who are arguing that they must stop and behave more sensibly. Right, let's say,
Like you're gonna knock some sense into them.
right, let's see, knock two heads together, history. Let's see what it says there. Right, are they not going to admit to it?
I don't think so. They left you hanging, Jan.
Come on, it's the old heading. Oh no. There we go. History. Definition of not to be. When two people put their heads together, what is the idiom? Put your heads together. What does knocking on the head mean? Oh, come on, they're not being honest. Right. So how can I put that? How can I find that then? Because people are going to think I made it up. To force people.
But no, I don't believe you made it up. I just don't think it's something that
Yeah, I'm telling you, and it happened to me. Yeah, it did happen to me. Anyway, so Google's made me out to be a liar. Thanks, Mr. Google. Don't like you anymore. Is your meeting over then, Bridge? Well, we're just going to take a break and then we're moving on to other things. So yeah,
Bridge has a suggestion to adjust your Google search.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do that. Google search. Let's do that.
Are you coming up, Bridge?
What is it? Child abuse knocking kids' heads together. Okay. Abuse knocking. What to do when kids knock their head? Oh, that's not it. Knocking. She's laughing.
The AI isn't ready.
Right. If you're oh my God. Right, hang on. Right, I'll let you share this with me. Let's see what it says here. Right. Right, they're asking whether you can knock your kid's head. I mean, what are these people, stupid? Of course you don't knock your kid's head. But that is what happened when we were kids. Oh. Unusual parenting. A simple bang on the head can alter a child's relationship. Oh dear. So children are accused of, oh no. What? What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jan.
Edna. Right, how can I come on, what else can I put in there? Bridge is laughing at me. I fell for that, didn't I, Bridge? She's Is slapping your kid across the face child? Oh, I'm done with that. I'm not reading that. Right, we're going for a break. You just carry on laughing there, Edna. You're in a world of your own, I tell you. Sometimes I want to be in Edna's world. I really do. So we're now going to have a break and a couple of minutes break, and then we're going to be back with some news. We haven't done any news today. So turn off your sound, Edna, and we're just going to have a little bit of a break. See you in a bit, guys. And we're back. We're back in the room after our break. Okay, it's time to move on. And it's time for... Well, who saw it? Who didn't see it? Who laughed like I did? Who thought it was wonderful? Actually, I need to remove that. Get off. Just get off there. Right. Okay. I did a video on it, so we're not going to be talking a great deal about it. But, well, I say, somebody got called out. Somebody got called out big time, and it was glorious. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Yeah, it was. It was great. And the reason why it was great was because of this young lady. This young lady who came on and put our Yomama oh my God, in his place, for want of another word. So we're going to be going over her response because he has responded in the way that we would expect him to respond, which was by just calling her names, just calling her fat. Yes, well, you're fat. Well, what's that got to do with anything?
No, not your mama. He said that's what he's all against.
Oh, no, that's the first thing he came for, calling her fat.
Oh,
And that, again, goes along with what I was saying about, you know, if your first argument or your first, you know, starting point for an argument is to call somebody by something obvious about them, like, oh, you're fat, or you're skinny, or you're black, or you're ginger, or, you know, so many different things. It's a very childish way to argue.
Yeah, he can't take any criticism though, Jan. Have you noticed?
Yes, I have noticed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the thing is with Zita, her calling out the boat, I hadn't even thought about the boat. But now I'm like, maybe he doesn't own the boat.
Well, I did a bit of homework because that's what I do. Yeah, Mama, I do homework. And I did a bit of homework. And it did show. I saw somebody had written in somebody's comment section somewhere that you can see that the boat was hired because it's actually got it had a board on it with nautical adventures or something written on it. So yeah, but he, in the fashion that you would expect from Yomama, has come out and said, well, no, well, why should I answer her question? I'm not going to give her, all my personal information. Yeah, it just
because he can't.
Because he couldn't. That's why he didn't answer, because he was caught out. Now, if you can see under the picture there on the left-hand side, there's the picture of him in his trunks, in his swimming trunks, standing next to the sign on the boat, which says basically that it was hired. But he's not going to admit to that, guys, because he's a little big man. He's a little big man. And no, you're lying about me, Zita. You're lying. So, yeah, all right, yeah, Mama. I mean, to anyone with half a brain, they would realise that what he's doing really is just lying about it and just showing his true character. He's just showing who he is. And I'm like, okay. I feel a bit foolish in thinking that he was, a different kind of man. So I feel a little bit foolish for that, but hey, I like to give people a chance. But then as soon as I see what they're about or who they really are, then I'll step back. And I'm quite happy to do that with Yomama boy. Yeah, everybody forgot about that boat. Oh dear. Deary me. And also about the bike. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil it all, but hang on, let's just see. I'll quickly go through here. Did he really say he owned the boat though? I think he may have done. I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say 100%, but I think he implied that he owned it. So yeah. Oh, hi, Fozzie. Devil's advocate. Doesn't that mean Zita has to prove that she owns a boat? Well, I think, yeah. Well, why? Why does it? Uh, why does it? Why does she have to prove anything? The whole point was her pointing out that he was trying to be a bit of a Walter Mitty type. He likes the large, as we say over here, and and she's proved him otherwise. So I don't really see that she then has to say, look, I can prove this, that, and the other, because that's not what she's been doing online. The whole point is that he's been playing the big I am, when in fact he's a very sort of diminutive type of man. That's what I would say.
And how do you say it? You said something large?
Giving it large. Yeah.
Giving it large. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's I think that's a British terminology. Don't start, Edna. All right, just don't start.
I'm just picking up new terminology. Listen, Bridget's video about correct grammar and spelling, I think that brought me back to like middle school grammar. I'm getting on my English.
Bridget's good. Bridget's an educated lady, and that's what I like. I like educated people, and it's not because I'm a snob. It's that I just like educated people. I always have
Well, first
done.
of all, it takes a lot to get through academia. You know what I mean? It's not an easy setting to be in. So just the fact that you're able to be there and be successful working on, as Husky likes to say, your fifth doctorate or whatever, it's really an accomplishment. Like I hope to be like Bridge when I grow up, go back to school for like engineering or something.
You will be. You've got a good brain in your head as well. You're just away with the fairies most of the time. Once you leave the fairies somewhere, okay, and then focus on what you need to do, then you'll be absolutely fine. And that's what you do in your work. And I'm not trying to be condescending here. It's what I gather from you, what I pick up from you. I think in everyday life, or like when you're online, I think you're a little bit sort of away with the fairies, but I think, which I am, but I'm away with the fairies in real life. Not so much online.
You know what? In my circles, I'm not like wild and crazy, but for the way these people act sometimes, I might as well be because it's like corporate America. And I'm over here like, listen, we good, like I'm kind of chilling.
No, I think you're an intelligent young lady. I think you
I think you could be
I think
both.
you lack confidence in your own abilities, but I think I mean that in a social setting. I think in a social setting you're sort of what's the word? You're not as confident perhaps as other people.
I think people like to play on confidence, but it's like I know that if if we're looking at metrics, at work, looking at certain numbers, where you lie. So it's like, why am I trying to be the funniest person in the room where that like statistically, like, there's going to be 30% more people that's funnier than you. Like, I'm going to listen to them and enjoy myself. I don't need to make a joke. That's just kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, and that's the beauty, that's the beauty of the human being, in that we all think so differently, and our minds work so differently. And because I can honestly say I've been in so many scenarios in my life, and I've never once considered I was any less than anybody. And it's not because I have like a delusional brain about, or delusional thoughts about who I am. I think it's just that I know who I am, and I fully understand that most people, like the Shakespeare quote, are just playing roles. And I think when you look at life like that, then I think it strips back a lot of the hierarchy, because I've
Mm-hmm.
worked in so many different arenas, so many different things where, I've acted differently. I've had, different roles. And I remember one of the, when I was splitting up with my first husband, one of the things he said to me is, you're different around other people. You think you're this and you think you're that because you do this and you do that. And I used to say, but I don't think that. I don't think any higher of myself, or I don't think I'm any better than anybody else. It's just that I'm me, and I'm confident in me. And whether I
Mm-hmm.
stand, you know, I can't stop the way people look at me, but I can always be true to myself. And I think as long as you don't have that, I've never ever had an inferiority complex, ever. And
Hmm.
I think, I don't know where that came from. Maybe that came from, being in a home and having to look out for myself all the time, never having anyone to never getting praise. I grew up with no praise, because I didn't have a loving family. I didn't have someone saying, "Oh, you're so wonderful, Jan. You can be this, you can be that." I had to fight my way up. I had to, from being at school, and not only with the other kids in the school, but also the other kids in the home. I had to
Mm-hmm.
have faith in myself, and I think I've kept that throughout my whole life. Now,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
so you're not the first person that I've heard say that, and say that, oh, well, they felt that, other people may look at them and think this and think that. And I'd be like, well, so what? I don't care what people think of me. And I think that's what one thing, about doing YouTube as well. When you get the people that mock you all the time, I've got a lot of people that mock me. Uh, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't bother me, because I know who I am. I know I've been successful. I know, I've had to be strong in so many times in my life, and the only thing that ever beat me, I have been beaten in my life, and the only people that have ever beaten me is my kids, and that is where
Really?
they're
Yeah.
I don't mean beat as in hit me, I mean beat
Right.
as in floored me, as in stripped me of my strength. When my babies, I've had 2 of them, one of them as a grandchild, one of them as a daughter. When they were ill and I nearly lost them, it's them that,
All right.
the trauma of that, and not being able to have that strength, to be what I should have been to them. I felt I should
Right.
have been so much better than I was as a mother, and as a grandmother. I think I was okay as a grandmother because she was a baby and I would just sit with her and I would just, hug her and just pray that she would get better. But I feel that I failed. I failed my kids in that I didn't have that strength that I've always had in my life to deal with the bad health that they had. And luckily, they both survived. They both survived cancer. But there was a time when, the baby, we nearly lost her. She didn't eat for 6 weeks. Now, that is what kills me. Nothing else in this world. I don't care how many times Hussy calls me this or Yomama calls me that or somebody called. I don't give a toss because I
Right.
know who I am and I know what I've been through. And all these people are just pathetic individuals that are trying to make themselves, a name for themselves online. And I just think that I wish that everybody else had the confidence that I had. I mean, yeah, mine was stripped away from me, and I still fight with it to this day. I mean, I was gonna share a video the other week, actually, the other day, because I was gonna talk about, illness, and
Mm-hmm.
I've got some videos that I made of my baby. I call her my baby. That's my granddaughter. And, so I played a couple of the videos. I was in tears. I was a wreck. I can't deal with it. That's
Yeah.
part of my PTSD. And if there's one thing I despise about my mental illness, it's that weakness I had. That's what I hate about my mental illness, that it's given me PTSD and I just cannot deal with that. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, I can't
Yeah.
share that online and, get all emotional about it because I feel that if I show how upset I am about something, if I cry, there's very little that makes me cry, but seeing my baby makes me cry,
Mm-hmm.
seeing how bad she was and having to be strong. I was stronger with her than I was with my daughter, and I don't know why. But yeah, so what I would say to you, Edna, is don't ever, ever, ever feel that people are better than you. People aren't better than you. You're Edna, you're a lovely person, you've got a good job, you've got a good brain, you're a bit scatty, you're a bit
No.
all over the place. It doesn't matter. You're still Edna. Please, and if there's one thing that I could love to drum into people, and I do to people that feel the way you do. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
is better than you because everybody is different. Just because they're trying to play a different role where they're trying to pretend that they're like this or they're like that, forget that. It's crap. It's crap. Just have
Yeah.
faith in yourself.
Thank you, Jan. I have to. Yeah, I think we all need that reminder.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Thank
we
you.
we do. That's all right. Right, let's get back to Zeta. Sorry about that, guys. I know I lost a few of you, but yeah. I feel quite strongly about that. I always I don't know. Um as I've said before, I'm an empath and I hate to think that somebody walks around thinking that they're beneath other people. No, you're not. No, you're not. Um Never, and especially from what I know of you, Edna, you're definitely not beneath anyone. So
Right.
anyway,
I mean, okay, yeah. And
no,
back
say
to
what you
Zeta.
wanna say if you want
And
to.
no, I was just gonna say, that's not how I thought I came across, but that's the way you heard it, so it's interesting. So I'm just, thank you, and I'm just, I take that.
That's all right, darling. If I can
Yeah.
just build you up a bit, I mean, That's what life should be about, you know? We should be about bigging each other up, you know, not tearing each other
Absolutely.
down.
Not
Um,
always.
yeah, I know, I know. Anyway, so let's get on to Zita Ray All Day is her channel, and let's get on to what she had to say in response to what Yomama did. Right, let's make that a bit, bring that in a bit. There we are, that's better. Right, so
The
should we turn
viral circus, the dangerous stunt of girl world reactors. That's
yeah.
quite a title.
Yeah. Now, I gotta say, I like this woman. I like her. When I look at her, I don't look at her weight. I don't, you know, what's weight got to do with anything? It hasn't. It's to do with the soul. It's to do with the person. And I like her. I like the way she stood up to Yo Mama. She called him out. And, you know, the fact that he's just going to come for her weight now is disgusting. But hey, what can you expect? So let's just see what she had to say because I thought it was quite amusing. Okay.
Asshole. So I had to kind of play on his cockiness and talk some shit to him to get him to pull me up live. So when I very first started talking smack to him, he wasn't gonna let me up. And then he was like, okay, well, she might prawn me. I don't know. I don't know. So then I was like, okay, fuck it then. I'll come up audio only. And then he was like, oh no, cam up, cam up. He was trying to use any angle he could to get out of it. So I was like, all right, I'll cam up. I don't give a fuck.
Can I just say, I think she looks wonderful here. I think
she's very stylish.
Yeah, she knows how to do her makeup. That lip suits her. The foundation suits her. I think she looks good. I think she looks good.
So
Even though
why did he bring her up though? Like, I don't know. Is she like a name, Zita Ray?
No, what happened was,
yeah,
I think she was in his chat and she was saying things like, "Oh, you know, I've got something I want to say to you." Blah 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 blah.
Oh, so
No
she really
idea.
just riled him up. Okay, that's
Yes.
great.
And I wasn't aware of that. I mean, some people were saying, "Oh, well, the chat would, you know, saying to him to let her up because she was spamming the chat." Maybe she was, but I was really surprised he let her up, I have to say. So we'll get it from the horse's mouth.
Wasn't looking like a whole ass snack. My camera was all from a freaking upward angle. So, I had my double chin, but that's fine. Girls are supposed to have double chins. Like, as long as you're not a freaking AI or you're not using a filter, and you're probably going to have at least a little bit of a double chin from that angle. But anyway, so yeah, mine's fat as fuck. It's not a secret. I'm not trying to hide it. And BT Dubs, you could have used a worse freaking angle for your little music video that sucked. On the video that has my actual boat in it, the one that I actually have. But anyhow, I watched.
Oh, so apparently he did a music video on her. I have to say I didn't watch it. I stopped watching his music videos a long time ago because the man cannot sing, and it just went completely against my musicality. I just couldn't cope with them in the end. But I guess he was just making fun of her in the video. I don't know. I'm not really interested. So
I don't
yeah.
remember, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously she's talking about that. Good for her.
Wasn't going to respond to this because I don't want to become a reaction channel. I don't want to build an audience from girl world, and I'm just kind of like doing my own thing over here. But
yeah, and I understand that because I don't want to be affiliated with Girl World. I realize, the 3 people I have in chat are from Girl World, so obviously I do talk about it, but my aim would actually be to come away from Girl World to, react to other people. It's difficult though, because even with my small viewership, most people do want to hear what I've got to say about, certain creators. So I do continue to do it, but I can fully understand why she doesn't want to get sort of caught up in it. It's not a nice community. It's quite
No.
nasty and quite ruthless, don't you think,
And
Edna?
it's well, absolutely it can be. I mean, I don't even watch Sammy or Yaba really because of how kind of vicious they get in there. Like when they were
Yeah.
when they were making the faux what do you obituaries and you know, they're just waiting to see like you know, they're just like looking for signs of her demise. And it's like this I don't know, they just take the fun out of it because Chantal, she's a goofy character in and of herself. They don't have to turn it so dark.
Yeah. I think it's I mean, I don't really want to talk on her at the moment, although we do now talk
Mhm.
about it on our channel. But I want to focus on here because we're an hour and a half in already. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It is very dark.
Like I said, this sorry poser decided to post a video. He couldn't let it go. I put him in the hot seat and see if he would answer any questions. And of course, he didn't. He started sweating and stuttering and trying to divert to about what the fuck I looked like and how fat I was because you know on his channel whatever points you have or whatever facts you have they're irrelevant if you're not on cam or if you're over a certain amount of pounds. So just disregard all this bullshit. I'll be back to my normal content below.
I don't know what her content is, and that's the only reason I haven't subscribed. But I'm gonna be watching her, and if I like what she does, I'm definitely gonna be clicking that subscribe button
Okay.
because I like her as a person. I like her openness. I get the feeling she's an open person. I don't know what she's
Mhm.
into. I think she's a biker girl, but you know,
Oh yeah, I think I remember her saying something about that.
yeah,
Maybe later on in this video, yeah. Because
yeah.
remember, or I don't know if I said, but I was watching Jessica Metzger earlier, and she was going over a different strain, and I think she played part of this video.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm going to link this video and the channel anyway, so that if people are interested in her as a person, then you know, you can find her easily enough.
So
Nice.
I'll be back to my normal content soon. I'm hoping the shit doesn't fuck up my algorithm because it probably is.
Well, it will for a
But
short
anyhow,
while.
so that is that. Um,
If I was to meet her, the first thing I would say is, "Let me look at your tats," because I love tattoos.
Yeah.
I hope she does a tattoo tour. I want to see what she's got on her arms because I like that.
I love when people are like, I have this because I thought it was cute. I have this
Yeah,
because it was a Wednesday, you know. This, I
yeah.
don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, I like it. And I mean, even if I'm out and about, if I see somebody with some tattoos that I like the look of, I'll always say something, you know, like somebody working on the tills or something. I'll say, "Oh, I
Mhm.
love that one. Where did you get that?" And yeah, I love tattoos. I've got a few myself, but I haven't got a sleeve or anything, but I've got a few.
anyways,
Nice.
I just really did it because y'all know I'm all about being authentic. I made a thing in my I made a thing in my camera did a thing. I don't know. I don't have my settings up. But anyway, party time. Um, so y'all know I'm all about being authentic and 100 and real. And a lot of what I believe is wrong with society about all these people being depressed, and one is not going out the fuck side, but it's also all these people who get online and flaunt this life that they don't have. They don't tell the full fucking story. Like for instance, if you're going on a work trip, say you're going on a work trip, or if you're going to
Mm.
rent a boat with some homies, you say you're going to rent a boat with some homies, or you know, just fucking keeping it 100. How the fuck I do. I'm all about getting a value, about finding value and saving money. And
I must say, I have looked at a couple of her videos, and she does like try on hauls, and she was trying on bikinis and everything. I tell you
Mhm.
what, I just thought for her, I just thought, good for you, girlie. You've got the guts to do it. You do it. So I was pleased that
Do
she,
you
you know,
wear a two-piece, Jan?
no,
You know what I thought? Like I didn't ever like when I was the young one. I mean, it wasn't indecent or anything, but I always had a two-piece just for practicality. You know, I would be swimming all day, and I didn't want to have to get naked to use the rest. You know, so and it got to a point where I was like, oh, I can't wear a two-piece anymore. And I think I'm back to the place where I was gifted a swimsuit, and I put it on. I'm like, I don't look half bad. I think I'm gonna rock this two-piece.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you make sure you do. The only reason I
Yeah.
haven't is because I've had 4 kids in this belly. So,
So
you
what,
know,
Jen? You can
no
get a
no
tankini.
one no, nobody wants to see my belly's like a chocolate sponge that's sunk in the middle. Nobody wants to see that when they're on the beach.
You think people care, but it'd be better for you just to be out there enjoying yourself. And you don't have to have your stomach out to enjoy yourself, but just in something that's comfortable for you. Jan, I'm gonna throw some love into you, girl. Body positivity.
All right, okay. Yeah, I'm a bit old for that. I think there's a certain age when you should stop wearing bikinis. There, I've said it. I don't think it matters, you know, if you're large or if you're small, you know, of a certain age, wear a bikini. You know, if you want to wear a bikini. I'll tell you a story. My daughter's booked to go to Greece, I think, in the summer, and we were out last weekend, and she said, "Oh, let's have a look and see if we can get, like, you know, my granddaughter who's now 14, a bikini. She wants a bikini this year." So we were the 3 generations of us looking through the bikinis things. I had to keep putting down the flower one. No, Nan. She was like, anyway. So then she found one, and so off we toodled to the fitting room. And then when she came out, like I called round and I said, "How's it going?" And my daughter said, "Oh, Mum, this one just makes her look too much, you know." She's just because she's quite sort of well endowed, bless her.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
there was no way she could wear this bikini because it really did sort of uplift and squeeze together.
Yes, I was around that age when I had my first comment. I was like, "Oh, wow, okay." Like you know.
Yeah, because some of those bikinis, they're like padded, aren't they?
Well, I mean, you kind of need that in the water because you know, it might be cold and your nips are like extra showing. So it's nice to have the padding to flatten it out.
So she prefers, like, you know, like the sports bras. She prefers those. So she doesn't want
I
the
bet
ones
for
that,
support. If you like to really be swimming, you don't want those little flimmy swim tops because you need. Listen, Jen, I'm a big girl. I want to be strapped in.
yeah. Oh God, how embarrassing! Have you seen those? You must have seen the clips with the women, you know, sort of spring from the water, and they've got one of their boobs out. I mean, oh no, that would be so shameful. I couldn't bear it.
I mean, it happens to everybody. Listen, I remember there used to be like this old lady who would be in the swim class at the Y, and she had the saggiest swimsuit. Like she moved in any direction. She was exposing something. So it was like, no, it's like, what is, you're traumatized at that point. So it's like you get over it quickly. When you grow up in swimming at the public pool.
She probably had the pool all to herself. Bless her.
Oh man, nearly, no, it wasn't that bad. But you know, it happened. You know, and plus we used to swim or we used to shower in like the communal showers. So, you know, it's like I don't know, it wasn't a big deal.
I don't think they do that anymore now in schools, you know.
They probably don't, but like we did it at summer camp and different things. Yeah. So it's funny when people are like so concerned about their body. It's like we only got 1 shower a day at camp. You were trying to get in there and get it done and get out, you know.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
it wasn't
remember
that big a deal.
I remember at school, like after PE, we always used to have group showers, and it didn't bother me. But I know that there were some people that were really sort of self-conscious, and I know my grandkid would have hated it, you know.
Mm.
Whether, boys or girls, because boys can be just as sensitive. Anyway, let's get on.
I think I even said it before that this isn't about like what I have and this person doesn't have, because y'all know that I'm not about things. I'm about time. I think time is the most valuable asset we have, because we don't know how much of it we have left. Like, I lose friends every day. Like, well, not every day. That's a little bit of a dramatization, but like probably like once a month, once every couple months. That's just how it is in the biker community. But anyhow, so yeah, I think I've even said it on my channel that I might not keep my boat very long. I actually was thinking about selling it before this season, and Emma was like, no, let's at least keep it one more season. So anyways, motherfucker, if you really want to own a boat, I'll probably sell mine for about 85K. So let a bitch know. All right, so this is it. I will see you when I see you.
Is that
Peace.
how expensive boats are? That sounds kind of
Oh yeah, they're not cheap.
Zita's telling me that you ride a boat that you don't own.
Right, well, we don't need to say that. Right, so I just thought I'd just show a bit of her. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on her because, as I said, I like her as a person. She seems genuine and she seems to have a bit of personality, which is a good thing. So I'm gonna finish now. We've been on for long enough. I need to go and blow my nose because, as usual, it's the hay. I don't know what it is. Hay fever, allergies. I don't know. But always at night time, my eye starts running, my nose I start coughing. That's it. Time to go, Jan. Time to go.
I'm just happy we don't have any more Arctic temperatures. It's going to get into the 40s and 50s next week. So I am ecstatic.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's like 40
really
now.
good
I'm gonna
even.
just take a walk outside. I haven't been out. It's like I don't even care that it's raining. I'm gonna take my umbrella and hit the
Get out
thing.
there.
Jen, it's been so cold. I'm like, I'm not gonna have to put on 3 layers to go outside anymore.
I have to say, today did feel quite spring-like, and I'm quite lucky because I get the sun at the back, and my lounge is in the back, and it was lovely. When I came in this morning, the sun was shining through, and it was like a spring day. And I opened the patio doors, and it didn't feel as if it's like an Arctic blast. It felt much more comfortable, and I thought, yeah, this is better. But it's not
Right?
over yet, Edna. It can be cold up until like March, April, so let's not,
Shush. I don't want to hear. I'm gonna enjoy the time. I'm gonna enjoy the little warmth that we get as much as possible. I don't get outside. I'm working all day anyway, so it doesn't. Just knowing that just not feeling the breeze come through. Jen, when it was like 2 degrees, my soul felt like 2 degrees. I'm like, how do people live in this?
I'm
Like,
like
oh
that.
my goodness.
I cannot cope with cold weather. I really can't. And I think as I've got older, I think it gets worse. I mean, they say old people feel the heat, the cold more. And I do. It just chills me to the bone, and I'm like, I can't. I just hate it. So
When does O start? Because I'm already there, Jan. I'm telling you, like when it
you've got a ways to go yet, darling.
oh jeez.
Anyway, Edna, thanks so much for joining me again. It's always great having you up on panel with me.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, Chad. See you guys later.
Yeah, and thanks so much for everybody who came in or anybody who's on the catch up, replay, whatever. Thank you so much for popping by. We've had a good old chat today, tried to cover a few different things and went off course a little bit thanks to Edna, but wouldn't be the same without Edna. Edna likes to lead me off somewhere different, and it's not difficult to do that. Anyway, I want to say thanks to everybody. You have a fantastic weekend. You stay safe out there. because it's a rotten old world. And just take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next week. So bye-bye for now.